Hi, pretty girl. You get to do whatever you want, huh? You get to do whatever a pretty girl wants. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday here. Let's see if I can get a better shot of Cougar Anastasia. Hey, pretty lady. Look at you and all this beautiful foliage surrounding you. We're not used to seeing that. It's great seeing you in a free roaming habitat after graduating from your former quarantine habitat. Hey, Sherry V, thanks for joining us, everyone. Deborah JS saying, OMG, is that Anastasia? You're right, it is. That is Cougar Anastasia. I am currently filming her from the other side of her shift. You guys know Anastasia. She can be a little particular about people, and you know us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary don't want to do anything to put any of our residents in an uncomfortable place. So I'm doing Miss Anastasia a favor and giving her a little extra distance here, but hopefully we'll still be able to get a good idea of the pace of life that she's been enjoying in her new free roaming habitat. I'm going to walk around from the front so we can really understand the awesome new space that Anastasia have and how thankful we are for how far she's come in her Wild at Heart journey here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. So, just to give you guys some context, there is the Cheetah's Yards, Quito and Lavani. They have their outdoor habitat, obviously, which is a part of Cougar Cove and connects to the Central Animal Building over there. But right across the street from Cougar Cove is going to be Anastasia's new space. You can see the heated bungalow for her to take advantage of. I was right on the other side of the shift, so Anastasia can come into that shift. We can then close that guillotine door and safely clean her habitat while she's not in there. And then obviously she has full advantage of her heated bungalow space. And before we get a closer look at Anastasia, we can really take a look at some of the amenities that we've put in for Miss Cougar Anastasia, and some of them with her personality in mind, knowing that she's a little bit of a shy girl. We put in these big kind of recycled drainage pipe here for her, and that's been a favorite haunt of hers. Elise was saying that her toys, you can see these bowling pin toys that we've seen her kind of bat around, are showing up in different locations throughout the day. So it looks like she's been batting around her toys. And I'm just going to stay right here for the pretty girl and zoom in on her. Yeah, look at you. Someone looks snug as a bug. Someone looks snug as a bug. Ellen Simmons says, great that she has skywalks. Yep, Ellen, we're looking forward to her taking advantage of them. And also, I should say, and also give a thank you to Trees for Tigers. They're actually the ones who help fund Anastasia's habitat to include things like the skywalks, perches, platforms, you name it. Holly Winscott saying, woot, I didn't miss it. You did not, Holly. We are live with the one and only Miss Anastasia. And you guys know her as our former Cat in Crisis. Anastasia was introduced during our Cats in Crisis campaign that would have been all the way back this spring. And Miss Anastasia was indeed a cat in crisis after being found. Kind of a telephone story of, we heard a few different things, but regardless, Anastasia came to TWS in pretty horrible condition. She was underweight. She had that really scary wound on her nose. Her tail was degloved. We're actually worried about pneumonia as well. And that's all behind Anastasia. That is all a part of her latest, or her oldest chapter, her newest chapter here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Has nothing like that in store for her. Nothing but free roaming habitats, plenty of food, lots of warm space, tons of enrichment, Anastasia, and a heck of a lot of people who love and care for you. So happy for her, says Jill M. Me too, Jill. She really is kind of taken to this space, and not to kind of underscore the fact that Anastasia, she still is shy. She still is particular about when people are around, and that's kind of why, like I said earlier in this post, we've given her different things in this habitat to help her indulge that side if she wants to. Her den, that big culvert, and obviously you can see plenty of tall grass for her to get up and away and feel safe and secure, which is exactly what we want, Miss Anastasia. Hey, Lisa J, thanks for joining us. Maria P saying, did you bring treats for her? Maria, I did not. I was witnessing caretaker Elise work with her for feeding at about 1:30 today, and it is quite an undertaking to get Anastasia her meal. Caretaker Elise actually starts right just about where Anastasia is there, and we'll feed her along the habitat wall there. And then we'll walk all the way down and give her another piece of her meal in the far corner over there. And then she walks right around to the bungalow, and Anastasia finishes her meal in the bungalow. So you can see kind of how rigorous of a routine that caretakers have set up for her. Obviously, we want to have Anastasia set up for the best here. And so the answer to that, Kathy, or to the answer to me wondering if we bought any treats, the answer to that is no, because I want to maintain the conditioning that the caretakers have been doing with her, and I don't want to obstruct that, Miss Anastasia, because we're so proud of the progress that you've made. And you guys also got to see a rather brief glimpse of Anastasia, but we did stay live for the whole session. But the crate training session that we had been working on with Anastasia, we shared with you on a live post. That would have been about a month ago. But that was about a month ago, and Anastasia just moved this past weekend, or 2 weekends ago, I should say, and that kind of gives you an idea for the timetables that some of these things take, the amount of patience that it takes, and the amount of understanding and willingness to let a cat do something at its own pace. And knowing just how shy Anastasia is, and knowing that Elise was able to work with her and have her crate and have her move down and be released into her habitat without sedation, that is pretty spectacular, Miss Anastasia. And very impressive, and just stands as one of the many testaments for our animal caretaking staff. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to back out for a second. If you're just joining us, you're tuned in to the Wildcat Sanctuary. We are forever home for rescued wildcats in need. We were just spending time with one of our rescued residents, Anastasia, and checking out her new digs. Looking at all the permanent forms of enrichment, you could call that. The perches, platforms, skywalks. Obviously her heated bungalow right across the way here, which is attached to her free-roaming habitat. And Anastasia has really been loving her new digs, as I've said. She says, yep, I can flatten out just like the rest of those cougars, Yeah, pretty lady. Yeah. Patricia A. saying, Anastasia is so gorgeous. Elise is a wonderful caregiver. She certainly is. Yes and yes. Let's look at some more comments here. Elise is the best. Lots of compliments for Elise, and much deserved too, obviously. Lynn Greenwood is late to the party as usual, she says. But hi, Anastasia. Hi, Anastasia. Yes, we're so proud of you. And maybe we'll have to bring you guys along for a feeding session with Miss Anastasia, kind of like I said, for you guys to get a glimpse of what it's like to work with a cat like Anastasia. I was kind of describing the different stages that Elise has set up for her to get her comfortable and coming into her shift and into her bungalow to feed. But it's nice to see those soft eyes and her kind of slow blinking as I'm hanging out here. She's still very, attuned to her surroundings. I see her ears kind of flickering if I hear a UTV drive by or anything like that. But nonetheless, she is very happy in her new space, and we're happy we get to bring it to you guys on a live post here. Sue Button saying that would be nice to see. We'll have to maybe coordinate with Elise for that. If anything, maybe we could do it for a supporters post too. Krista Christensen, a little tongue twister there, Krista, sorry. She's so pretty, I love her. That's nice of you to say. Don't we love you, Miss Anastasia? We all love you. And you can actually go to Anastasia's resident page on our website and actually see the condition in which she arrived here to the Wildcat Sanctuary. We now know her with a cougar with fur on her nose, a cougar who's at a healthy weight, a cougar with fur on the end of their tail, and a cougar who's became, more confident and more, more social, and really is a shell of what she arrived as. And kind of like I said earlier, is just one of the many examples of how far your support goes for our cats in need here. Let me see if I can go over here, pretty lady, and get a better look at your face. Get a better look at your face. Little gloomy day, as you can see here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We're expecting rain later today. And I've been seeing some threes in the forecast. Threes meaning 30 degrees, which means freezing, which means winter is coming. But that's a lot of the buzz that you'll hear the caretakers doing. They're getting all the habitats outfitted with heated water buckets. They're adding extra dens, taking down shade cloths, you name it. Lots to get done here. Yeah, Ellen Simmons saying, wow, when you pull back your camera, the view, it's difficult to see her. You're right. You can imagine just how special it is for our cats when they get to have all of that space and they get to disappear and just become a little dot among the green, the grass, the foliage, and what have you. And that's something that you've heard us talk about here on live posts a handful of times, is that, much different than something like a zoo, which is set up for exhibition, where, a cat's, enclosure is built for the people to see the cats inside the enclosure. That's not necessarily how we operate here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, obviously. We are not open to the public, so nobody's coming and looking at our cats, and we're not obviously exhibiting them. So our habitats are built for the cats. And so that's cool that you say that, Alan, because it's kind of proof is in the pudding right there, is sometimes, and you guys even notice on these live posts, sometimes we have trouble even finding the cats. We have trouble even finding you kitties sometimes, huh? Silly girl. Julie Neville saying she has come such a long way from her beginning. And this is kind of cool, Julie. Facebook has given you a badge, a 5-year anniversary follower. Holy cow, you've been following TWS for 5 years. That's so spectacular. Thank you for your comment, Julie, and thank you for your support. Wow, look at everybody's. We have some anniversary followers. Everybody's got. Laura Reed is a 4-year anniversary follower. Very cool. Let's see who else. Lori Heath, you're a supporter. It's fun to see the little badges that Facebook drums up here. I've only been at TWS for about 2.5, 3 years. And it's so cool to see how many of you are seniors compared to me. I'm just a rookie. Karen M., you were in Taos last week and it snowed. Yowzer. We actually had some snow right over in neighboring North Dakota the other week. And they had feet of snow, not just inches, feet. So luckily that missed us. We're getting ready for winter here, but I don't think, emotionally we're ready for feet of snow around here yet. Pierre Cat Selva saying they don't want to be found, referencing Anastasia kind of disappearing into her habitat and our residents disappearing into their habitat. Hey, that's the beauty of living wild at heart, is we give them the option, to live as closest as they could in the wild, to take advantage of all those natural amenities. Now that Anastasia is laying down, I think we're going to keep shaking and moving. And I'm glad that we all did get to see her enjoying herself and really get an idea for the habitat that she's living in and her latest chapter here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Perches, platforms, skywalks, all for a special girl. All for a special girl. Alright, let's boogie. Let's boogie and see what we see. See, it actually just, obviously with Anastasia's move, they finished up the construction over here, but you can still see some of the dirt. Let's see what this crazy tigress is doing. I see a crazy daisy. And I also see her by one of her barrels. Are you playing with your barrel, silly girl? Welcome, welcome all. If you're just joining us, what's today? Wednesday, hump day here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I have Tigress Daisy in my sights. Are you enjoying your afternoon, pretty girl? Yeah. Hey, Goofy. Hey, Goofy. Yeah, thank you for the chuff, Thank you for the chuff. Were you playing with your barrel down here? Play with your barrel. Yeah, look at these things. You love playing with your toys right up front so everybody can see just how powerful and spectacular of a tigress you are. Oh my, I just heard the rumble. Oh, I just heard the rumble of some thunder, Miss Daisy. You don't want to play with your toys? Am I the enrichment? Am I the enrichment? Boo! Yeah. Let's see what these two are doing. So I see caretaker Rio doing some hard work over there. She's stringing extension cords for leopard Shazam. But since she's working close to Leo and Mansa's yard as well as Shazam's yard, the cats, per our protocol, need to be locked in their indoor bedrooms for the time being. So that means Leo and Mansa are enjoying their indoor space as well as Shazam. So we're going to keep on shaking and moving this way. Oh, and I see Alyssa is setting up a heated water bucket for the tiger trio. It's fun to hear me talk about all the winterization, and then we're out here and get to see it right up close and personal. You can see the tiger trio giving Alyssa a few pointers on how to zip tie a extension cord properly to the fence. Griffin says, "No, you do it that way," and Zeke says, "No, it's this way," and Dimitri says, "Oh, it's this way." Let's see what the Five Wild are up to. Even though it may be a gloomy day, that's a group of cats who loves taking advantage of whatever kind of weather it is. They just love being outdoors. And I'll be sure to scroll back through some of the comments here. I know I've been walking around here for a moment. Hey, who's coming over here? Who's coming over here? Noah? I think that's Noah. Yeah, Mr. Noah. Are you going in your tube? You love the tube, don't you? Nadia saying the tiger trio giving pointers. That's what it's kind of life is like here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We get lots of advice from our feline co-workers, be it Shy Bear and Benny in the office or the Tiger Trio when Alyssa's doing her winterizing. Everybody's got input these days, don't they? Be it cat or human. Snoopervisors, I like that. That's funny. Are you a snoopervisor, Mr. Andre? Are you a snoopervisor? Yeah. Now someone's looking spectacular, hanging up on his perch or platform there. I'm starting to get a couple of raindrops here, Mr. Andre. Let's look at some comments while I was trotting around. Let me get a little better. Oh. I didn't even see. Look at you two goofballs. Here's Carlo and Denoma strategically sitting right by the road there so they can greet caretakers in record timing to get their meal for the day. Now I have those two boys as my backdrop. Let me look at some comments here. Bossy boy, says Susan about the Tiger Trio. Michelle S. saying, I love seeing them so relaxed and happy. Thank you for all you do. Thanks for that comment, Michelle. That's really sweet of you. There's always supervision. The snoopervisors. That's right. You can always count on Daisy wanting to play. Kathy B pointing out how different our winterization is compared to yours. What do you think, Mr. Denoma? What do you think? Yeah. And you guys know the Five Wild. That's Denoma walking away. That's Mr. Noah hanging out on the soft grass there. And I kind of pan over this direction. I saw Cougar Langley walking around somewhere. I think she's way in the background there. And then there's Noah somewhere, or Carlo, excuse me, somewhere out there as well. And the Five Wild comprises, or these five cougars comprise the Five Wild, who are a surrogate family of wild-born cougars. All, for one reason or another, weren't able to be re-released back into the wild. For example, Andre, his story's a little different than Noah, Carlo, and Langley's, in that Andre was actually found alone on a road in British Columbia. And without human intervention, Andre was at an age where most likely he would have perished. He wasn't able to fend for himself, and fortunately, we were able to intervene and get Andre here to the Wildcat Sanctuary. But that, compared to Noah, Langley, and Carlo's story, who are actually siblings, theirs, where their mother was unfortunately shot by a property owner, and which meant that these cougars who were at a young age were not able to fend for themselves. And we talked about this a little bit on yesterday's live post with Aspen and Blaze. And due to the laws governing the re-release of apex predators like a cougar, those three could not be released back into the wild. So they get to come here to the Wildcat Sanctuary, where we can give them all the love. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Noah. That was the perfect cherry on top of my little speech Sunday there, huh? Yeah, thank you for that. A little drive-by. I know probably at this point many of you could probably parrot back the stories of our residents, but it's always great to remind ourselves where they come from. Obviously, so many people are new here to the Wildcat Sanctuary, tuning in on our live posts, and not only am I educating them, but you guys too. You guys are quick to answer everyone's questions with a link to our website in the comments. You're quick to maybe correct someone, or you name it. It's really amazing how informed you guys are. Sometimes I just feel like I'm talking to myself out here because you guys already know all this information. Isn't that right, Mr. Carlo? We got a bunch of smart people out there who know all about the kitties. Yeah. Look at that muscular back, huh? Look at that big muscular back. Patricia A says, I love you, Noah. That's nice of you, Patricia. Teresa saying, the 5 Wild are such beautiful cougars. Thank you for that, Teresa. You guys are. You're a beautiful bunch of cougars. Especially Noah's showing off his muscular back to us. Do have some really cool photos of Noah actually hopping. There's 3 different platforms there in the background, 3 different tall platforms. I have a photo of Noah hopping over to one of the other platforms, actually from post to post, and really just gives you an idea for the athleticism of these animals, and just how incredible of an opportunity that we've been given to offer them the opportunity to take advantage of that athleticism. Mr. Noah would be making all types of jumps like that in the wild, and it's cool that he gets to show off his jumping prowess even here at the Wildcat Sanctuary with those big, tall platforms back there. Hey, Julie, thanks for the link to our resident page. That's always one I highly recommend for folks. And, not only is it cool because it shows every single one of our residents, but it shows every single one of our residents, current and former. So obviously there's been a lot of cats who have called the Wildcat Sanctuary home over our 20 years of operation. And being able to read about those cats' story and the impact that they've had, just as our current residents and the impact that they have on you. That's one thing that I've always enjoyed, especially when I first came to the Wildcat Sanctuary, Mr. Noah, was reading about all of the amazing former residents who have touched us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Kendra Ditto says, I saw that photo. Crazy impressive. Yeah, it was. Margaret Gilmer saying, I love the post of Noah jumping from post to post. Yeah, that was really cool. And one of those things where you kind of take the photo and you go and you look at it on your camera and you're like, oh yeah, we got the shot, Mr. Carlo. We got the shot. What do we think, huh, goofball? Yeah, are you a big goofball? I'm getting drizzled on out here. I'm looking across the way to see if I see baby. I think maybe we'll zoom in on Andre one more time, and I think I might take a mulligan and head inside so I don't get too wet. But nonetheless, everyone, I really appreciate you all joining us today. We got our first glimpse on a live post, at least, of Anastasia in her new free-roaming habitat. So be sure to check out the full post if you missed that. We pretty much spent about the first third with her, seeing the new habitat that she has, and learning about how caretakers are working with her to get her more comfortable with that habitat, and also just how proud we are of Anastasia and thankful we are for you guys to have been there for her and to continue to support her during her wild at heart life here. It was a good post, Mr. Andre. I'd say so myself. Yeah. Yeah, mister. And the 5 Wild is just going to gallivant around their habitat, and it looks like Andre is going to hang out and keep on enjoying himself from the comfort of his platform. He's watching over everyone. Andre is kind of the alpha of the group, the most dominant of the 5 that we've noticed. And so it's no surprise to see him hanging back, saying, I just take things day by day, I say. Oh, Mr. Andre, you big goofball. Oh, I was walking over here looking for a couple more cougars, but here comes one. All right, everyone. Kendra Ditto says thanks. Judson, Kendra, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Betty, thank you for joining us. Hey, thank you, Margaret, for joining us as well. Pam Jacobs, thank you. Really love the longer posts. Hey, I'm glad, Pam. That's the least we can do here is elongating the time that we spend with the cats that you guys do so much to support. So really appreciate everyone tuning in. Really appreciate everyone's engagement. It's been an absolutely awesome day, and we're so happy for Anastasia, and we cannot wait to see how she continue to progresses. So, Mr. Carlo, say have a good day. Yeah. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.